a lot different than a GM. The power of a gun.
Damn!
Welcome to Gundamn, your podcast for all things Gundam and Mecha. I'm one of your hosts, Sobro Ryu.
And I'm the other one, Neo Lornook.
And we welcome you back to the second episode of Gundam. And on tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about Macross. Also, we'll be talking about
our favorite alternate universe Gundam shows.
Most definitely. And also, in our first segment, we'll be talking about our take on the Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam movies, a new translation, and how our feelings
some
about
thoughts, some thoughts, some ideas, some controversy. Nothing too much, though.
No, nothing too heated, but maybe a little. But anyway, this is our second episode, and we're enjoying it. And
hope everybody enjoyed the first one.
If
they need to check us out.
Exactly. If you enjoyed the first episode, please send us back feedback on at our email address, which is Gundamn. That's GUNDAMN at CFL.RR.com. That's Gundam at CFL.RR.com. You can check out our temporary website right now, which is on MySpace, which is www.myspace.com/Gundam the show. And last but not least, you can also check us out on the boards at MAHQ.net at the forum section. Under advertisements, you'll find Gundam there, and you can leave comments there if you wish. It's a great website nonetheless. MAHQ.net, where you can find out information about your favorite anime series and also about mechs in general, and they have every Gundam series up there with reviews and thoughts upon each episode of each series if you want to find out more about it. But anyway, we have a couple news stories that happened.
I got a couple little things that I pulled off the old wires here, as we like to say here in the Gundam Central.
That's right.
Actually, a couple of these is some things that people might find kind of interesting, all courtesy of our folks at Ganada.
That's AEUG.blogspot.com.
And actually, a lot of it's got to do with the new show 00. I guess the episode 2 ratings came out, and this is a good sign. Oh. It actually garnered a 5.5% rating.
A share, 5.5 rating share.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
And it actually, and it's holding the audience from the premiere episode, and it's actually edging out Blood Plus in the time slot right now between the two shows.
Wait, is Blood Plus still running?
Well, no, they're because they were in the same time slot, so it's doing better than what Blood Plus did at the second episode of Blood Plus.
How about Seed? Did they have any comparisons to how well Seed does?
They didn't really say anything there, but there is something that you can allude to Seed on there also. I guess it's the opening song to it. I don't know who this is. L'Arc NCL.
L'Arc NCL.
L'Arc NCL.
Yeah.
I guess they released their album when the show came out.
They're a huge band though,
and
in Japan,
it did really well, and I guess it's done better than the ones for Seed.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah,
they're like probably the biggest band in Japan.
Oh, really?
I would imagine. Yeah, they are. I mean, outside of GACT, who did the openings to the Zeta movies.
Yeah, got nothing to say wrong about GACT. I can't.
Not now.
I can't hate on them. And just some other cool things. They actually spoke to one of the producers in the Japanese New Type, so I don't know if we'll get it over here or not, because I don't know how the New Type magazines, how comparable what we receive over here is what they have over there. But these are some good info that they gave, I guess. 00. It took 2 years to plan.
Wow.
So that's a good thing.
That's already more than how much it took Destiny to be planned. Oh,
that was a burn.
That's some hate.
Yeah.
Let me not be hateful. Destiny's still a fun show to watch. I enjoyed its run.
Yeah, but and I guess in the first episode, there's 30 different people in the first episode.
Wow. See, I knew that cast.
The number of casts is 30 different people.
Yeah.
And I guess it's the recording of the audio is a little bit over average of what they do for most animes.
It was like 4 hours of recording time, right?
Yeah.
That they had to take in order to do it.
Yeah. So I mean, and this is kind of crazy too. There's 300 people working on the show.
And twice the frames of animation, right?
Yeah, twice the frames of animation, and
I knew the director
I guess
was
there's over
stepping it up.
400 pages of drawings made just for the first episode.
It makes me wonder how much of a budget the show has over Destiny's budget, or maybe
Maybe they learned.
Yeah,
Maybe
or
they understood that they
could be
you know,
that, or maybe Mizushima is able to do more with the budget than the other team that worked on it. I don't know.
I don't know. I
styles
would
are
probably
different.
say they probably got more money because, I mean, just to pay those people.
Yeah,
I mean that right there. But
they did assemble a very good team. So I guess they had to dole out the money, but the budget behind animation is very. I mean, you can see that they spent a good deal of money on this.
and something for the gaming people out there. I guess Gundam Battle Chronicle. The first week it was out, it was the #2 game in Japan, selling over 86,000 copies in 1 week.
What system is that on?
I don't know. I think it might be. It doesn't really say. It's probably either 360 or PS3, possibly PS2. But it outdid Battle Tactics and Battle Royale.
Ooh, I can't wait for Gundam versus Gundam when that finally comes out.
Yeah.
At least for the consoles.
So and there another thing we talk a little bit, I think, in this episode about SD Gundam as one of the alternate series.
Right.
They actually put the last. The box set, collection box set in DVD format in Japan. So
Now, which SD Gundam is it?
I believe it's SD Gundam Festival Plus. So I think it is the
old school ones?
the normal ones. But
Oh.
I know
With Bobby.
yeah. Yes. But I actually think I think these are probably the newer incarnations of it, because I think that show they still do them from time to time.
Oh, the
The
3D
SD
one?
Gundams, yeah. No, not the 3D one,
Oh,
but the SD Gun, the original SDs.
The old school ones. Wow.
But I think they still do them, because I think one of the GBA or the DS games that was super deformed. I think there was an anime short or something with that in there too.
Wow.
And that included all of the series. Because I remember there was a little Archangel, a super deformed Archangel.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
It was kind of funny. So, my last little story, and we'll just say happy birthday this month. Ganada is 4 years old, bringing us
snap.
all the information we need. But that's just a few little things that we have there.
Tomino's favorite website. You can tell from his little caricature on the homepage all the time.
New Adventures of Tomino-san.
That's right.
But yeah, those are just some things. So it looks like Double Zero is doing pretty well. So hopefully that stuff continues. And we're actually not going to do any reviews of this show, because there's been some issues getting episode 3 down subtitled. So before we even kind of comment on anything, we at least want to know what they say, because neither myself or Soulbro knows how to speak Japanese.
Or comprehend most of it. But,
comprehend most of it. So,
but episode 2 was awesome, and we'll get into that next show.
It was. I gotta say, just quickly, it kept the pace going.
Yeah.
And it did some things I think that were, wow. They kind of put it in a new direction, which I enjoy. So it's gonna be different, but. This one, like I said, I'm just watching each episode. I'm trying not to read too much about it. I'll read the past stuff for the news, but that's about it.
We'll take it in slowly.
But this is our second show. So we're like Soulbro said, we got a couple topics that we're going to go into, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Gun. Damn it!
Look at that!
This is Soulbro Review, and when you have a free moment, check out these cool websites. MAHQ.net. And that stands for the Mecha and Anime Headquarters. They have information and reviews on a variety of animes, as well as specs on Mecha from your favorite series. Check out the forums and see what the regulars are saying about Mobile Suit Gundam 00. AEUG.blogspot.com. And that website is Ganada. And that's your #1 news site for all things Gundam. But watch out for those spoilers on Gundam 00 though. FTSshow.com. And that's for the podcast that started it all. Flip the script. Anime, video games, movies, TV, and music are a few of the subjects that are tossed about in a roundtable discussion by 6 very different individuals. Boy Wonder, Dr. Encyclopedia Black, Lee Majors, and Shoji Romero, as well as the host of Gundamn, Neo Lorinoke, and Sobro Ryu. GundamOfficial.com. That's Gundam, OFFICIAL.com. And that's for the official website of Gundam, of course. It's managed by the guru of Gundam himself, Mark Simmons. For those who had missed out on Simmons' mega fan site and extensive wiki of mobile suits in the late 90s, labeled the Gundam Project, now's your chance to see the second coming of it at GundamOfficial.com. www.myspace.com/Gundam the show. That's GUNDAMN the show. And last but not least is the website for the unofficial podcast for all things Gundam and Mecha, Gundamn. Check us out on MySpace, and if you're a member, add us as a friend and give us your opinions on the Mecha series you enjoy. Peep these cool websites when you get a minute. Now, back to...
Call me sir, goddammit!
Welcome back to Gundam. This is Sobro Ryu
And Neo Lorinick. Don't forget me.
That's right, we can't forget you. But our first subject tonight that we're discussing is a controversial one. About a year and some change ago, about 2 years ago, word broke that Yoshiyuki Tomino was going back and condensing the Zeta Gundam series into a three-movie saga, much like he did with Mobile Suit Gundam way back in the day.
Yeah.
And we were kind of excited about it, but the question hit us, how is he going to squeeze all of that show into 3 movies? And so we reserved judgment till we watched all 3. And let's just say that the results were bittersweet.
Yes.
Really bittersweet. But that's our subject tonight, the Zeta Gundam this Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, a new translation.
Yeah.
And pretty much how we feel about it. Personally, I like the movies to a point.
I think visually they looked amazing.
Visually?
I think they really like the way they kind of reintroduced some of the technology and stuff, and doing the old animation with the new animation. It's especially like in the second, third movies, they look pretty seamless.
I honestly think they should have just reanimated the whole daggone thing.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they probably should have, but
for those who are getting reintroduced in the Zeta Gundam, to watch that, it's like, why do these scenes look old and these scenes look new? It's kind of like
that first movie was a little tough to watch to an extent.
And it's not because I can sit back and watch an old show, no problem. But when you see it paired up with new animation, that's resoundingly different, and even have a different animation, a character designer, than the original series, it's kind of off. I'm sitting there watching it.
Yeah,
wondering.
That's kind of one of my big things with it was that. I mean, I kind of agree with you. I don't know how they come about this. I don't know if that's like a shortcut type of deal that they do just to, produce the movie quicker. I'm sure it probably cut down the production time a lot.
Of course.
But it seemed like but what killed me was by the third movie, you start with like the first movie, it seemed like they had like, I don't know, maybe about 40% new animation. By the end, the third movie, it seemed like the thing was about 70% new animation. So
Very true.
Don't understand why they didn't do it.
And do it just complete scrap and just do it all over again. Nothing would have been wrong with it.
Mm-mm.
It's like when Tatsunoko did Macross. Do you remember Love?
Right.
They didn't reuse anything. Everything was brand new.
Yeah.
It was just a reimagining. And granted, it was only a few years after Super Dimensional Fortress Macross ended when they did Do You Remember Love? But they redesigned everybody. Some characters were older. Uniforms had changed. Rarely was there a reanimated scene in that movie, and if there was, I'll sit here corrected. They went the extra mile, reanimated everything. Same thing for Escaflowne.
Yeah.
They did the movies.
as bad as that movie was.
Exactly.
Sorry, Escaflowne people, but
what are your thoughts on Zeta movies?
I enjoyed them. I think especially with the fight scenes and some of the way that they redid the order of events when it came to like what was it? I think they had Lila died later on than what
Yeah.
she did in the show.
She died during.
She
the
had a bigger
re-entry scene.
part, actually, it seemed,
She
in the
did.
movie than she did in the actual show.
Yes,
But
something's made more sense.
Yeah.
She died during the re-entry attempt
Mhm.
instead of just dying so early on when they went to that colony. They
Right.
didn't even go to that colony. The colony, was it Bunch 35?
Right.
They didn't even go there.
But they showed him.
They showed Emma the clip show.
Yeah. Showed her at the colony.
Showed her at
And
the
that
colony.
and that was kind of was a little aggravating, because it was like, we're sitting here, people that first off, people that love the show are going to be they're going to be the ones that are probably going to go the first day to see it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we weren't the only ones that were like, wait a second, she's watching herself from the show.
Granted, from the back, they showed her, so it could have been anybody. But
Yeah.
you watch the episode, it's
Yeah. It looked great. I liked, they basically made the Titans seem a lot more evil than what they were. They just seemed just immensely more evil and diabolical than what they were in the show. But the biggest complaint that I have is got to be the omission of the speech of the car,
Yeah.
which is probably one of the biggest turning points in the whole show, one of the best parts of the whole show.
But they could have even kept it, because they could have opened up the second movie with it.
Yeah.
It could have just been. It could have been a narrative. It could have been a narrative over the beginning of the second movie.
Just the whole omission of that. If you didn't know that happened, you would have known by watching that movie. I think the Kilimanjaro thing, I liked it when they fought at Kilimanjaro. Granted, I know they had to do it because they did the way Fork got killed.
Yeah, they actually killed all.
That wasn't too bad, but I think the speech, and then the end.
Oh boy.
Spoiler alert for everybody, but they change it at the end. Camille's mind doesn't get scrambled. He still kills Shiraka the same way, but he doesn't get the mind scramble like he did in the show, and that's where it just lost it for me, because I think what made the show so great was, here are these people banding together to fight the most evil people there are. They're being enlightened. They're evolving to another subset, and here's this kid that actually helps and saves pretty much the world, but he sacrificed so much, not only his friends, but he's damaged. He's damaged beyond control, and I think that was the best thing about the show.
It was the cost. It was the
Yeah.
cost of everything that he endured during that time. He lost everybody. During the end, he not only did he lose his family in the beginning of the show, but the family that he was adopted into, he lost the majority of them.
He lost his sister figure and Emma. He lost, all those guys like Captain Hankin.
He lost a mother figure. There was a conflict with Rakoa, which I think is one of the greatest things in the series, because she was like a mother figure to him after his own mother went.
Yeah.
She kind of like nurtured him in a sense. And then when she ripped him from the womb, when she went and joined the Titans, that's all in the movie and everything, but it's just, I think it was homogenized.
And then Char's missing at the end, so
Exactly.
I'm sure he didn't. But that's where I think it was. That's where the show, to me, is better than the original Mobile Suit Gundam. Like, I'll always say that if we ever do a thing on the top Gundam series, I always put Mobile Suit Gundam first, because without it we wouldn't have any of the other shows. But I think when it comes to story-wise and execution and everything, and really just showing like how bad war is and the sacrifices that people make, it's Zeta Gundam.
Yeah.
Because here is Armora at the end of Mobile Suit Gundam. He lost what? Maybe a few people that he knew.
But his
Slager, Lala,
Ryu Jose.
Ryu Jose.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And he was basically, became a hero at the end. And here's Camille, quite opposite, and he doesn't know who he is. That's my biggest thing.
That's what made that ending powerful. That's what made it powerful. When you sit and watch Zeta Gundam, it was like he went through all of that for that.
Yeah.
But you have to realize how much stress he was in that last fight.
Not only the thing about him getting his mind scrambled, but then you see the person that is in love with him and cares for him, and she's got to deal with it, because that was the biggest thing at the end of the show, where she's just like, she's like, Camille, are you okay? And She's like, I think something's wrong with him.
I think that's a common theme in Tomino animes. It's the girl that is always unrequited.
Yeah.
First it was Frau Bo, then there was Fa Yuri,
Mm-hmm.
and Turn A Gundam, then Soshi. You know, it's like there's always a girl
Oh yeah.
that gets the shaft, but they still care for the main character nonetheless. And Fa put up. I mean, for I don't know, just to see the look on Fa's face when she hears his voice at the end, and he sounds like he's 5 years old again.
Yeah.
And just to see that it's.
I mean, granted, when they show it in the movie, and after he kills Shirako, and the Zeta backs up, and it slowly transforms from the Wave Rider mode, looks great. One of the coolest things I've ever seen. But I was just kind of sitting there. I mean, I don't hate him, but it just, I guess from what I was expecting,
Right.
it didn't deliver. Like, you know, I was maybe expecting, I guess maybe first off, because it was Tomino, I was expecting the end to be more of a bloodbath than what it was.
Exactly.
I mean,
And on top of that, it made Sirocco look like a punk. in the show,
yeah,
he left a
He was
lasting
justified.
impression
he was
on Camille.
he was still justified in what he
Yeah.
wasn't wrong. He was just on the side that didn't win.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's kind of the whole, and that was the whole thing that
in the
they were
movie-
showing.
Exactly. In the movie, he was vanquished. Instead
Yeah.
of actually, you know, there being a consequence of fighting such a powerful new type, instead, you know, he just, you know, he was a cakewalk.
And the other thing is, they made him seem more evil. They made him just as evil as the Titans, where in the show he never really, he went along with them, but he wasn't doing it because he believed in what they thought. And you're right. In this one, he just was like,
the movies made him look like a manipulator more so than anything.
Yeah.
Opposed to the you know, kind of a calculating, you know, mastermind that he was. At least you knew he did it for a much bigger goal.
Right.
His quote alone, where he says, what's this? I will not be the man that leads us into the future. The leader that'll do that will be
yeah,
a
it's
woman.
a woman. Yeah.
I mean, he had a prophecy that would take place,
Mhm.
and in some sense it did.
Yeah.
In some sense it did. Oh, who was it? Turn A Gundam. If you look at it, if it's that far in the future,
Right.
if you follow the Turn A theory, then that is true.
Yeah.
I don't know in UC when it happens.
Well-
maybe if you look at Victory Gundam.
Well, not only that, but I'd say Double Zeta too. But that brings me
sure.
to the other point is the way that movie ended. They have the whole thing with Axis. They just leave.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they just leave, and it
just
makes
leave.
no sense because really, in the end, and what made it so great at the end of Zeta was the fact that they were the only group that still had military strength. So
That's
it
true.
made sense that they would make a power play
Exactly.
in Double Zeta.
Pick up the pieces.
It basically just threw the whole Double Zeta storyline out the window. And I know a lot of people don't like Double Zeta,
some people might applaud it, but not you and me. Heck no.
and I own it. And I think, I mean, I understand the first couple episodes are very, geared towards children, but that show after a while gets really, real serious, real quick.
In the late teens, that show picks up and becomes a show that it's
And it just kind of and I understand it's just a reimaginine, but man, it just, I don't know, it didn't seem, and that brings it too. And they made Haman look a lot more docile than what she was. She seemed more power hungry in the show.
Yeah.
I mean, and she was a mean woman. I mean, she was a jilted woman.
Yeah.
I mean, Char pissed her off, and she was gonna make everybody pay for that one,
Exactly.
even him.
Especially, heck, the movie makes it sound like Char died because you don't see the floating how could she get in
Yeah.
the movie. You don't see it.
Yeah.
And Tomino says it's up to the fans to think what they think because he retconned all of Double Zeta, so maybe he retconned Char surviving too. But I think that's BS, man. Your most beloved character, and you're gonna do that to him?
Well, I mean, and two, I mean, the way that you always want him to end is him and Armoro have to kill each other, just like you would want in any of these things.
I think the movies would have been awesome if they actually led into maybe Double Zeta, a new translation.
Yeah.
That would have made those movies worthwhile because Double Zeta deserved a second shot.
But I'm with you. I think as good as they were visually, and I mean, like I said, they were enjoyable all the way up to the end of the third movie. But that show was so layered, and there was so much going on in that show that I don't know how you could honestly do it and 2.5 hour movies like they did.
I think 4 movies probably might have given
Mine,
them a lot
I
more
mean,
legroom.
it was, I mean, it, because after I watched them, I went back and saw the actual show, and then that's when I was like, I had a real appreciation of it. So, I mean, not hating on it, just, you know, wasn't completely happy. And I know we weren't the only ones that probably weren't happy with the ending, but,
Probably not.
you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I appreciate that they did that, but, you know, I think to an extent, it's kind of painful because it lost its effect. That show was, that's a powerful show.
It's a powerful show. I mean, some people might think it's very dark, and
Well, it was.
It's not. I mean, if you look at Tomino's other works, it's not nearly as dark as some of the other stuff he's put out.
No,
Victory Gundam
I would say,
included.
well, they were dark just on the thing of like violence. I think what I like about Zeta Gundam was the fact of there always was the sense of hopelessness in that. Like they always, even when the AU was ahead, they never were ahead. And every time they did something, the Titans always won. And, you know, Victory Gundam, that's a whole different story. That was just violent because you just saw a poor little kid get his heart torn out every
episode.
Every episode because people he cared for just got mutilated. But whew, that's a different story for a different time.
Oh, yeah.
But
that Victory Gundam may take up 2 segments.
But no, I think it's a fair homage to the show. I'm just glad though it does have the new translation thing on it because it is not.
It's not the gospel.
No.
And pretty much it's definitely just a different take for anybody who's interested in Zeta or anybody who had never experienced the original series. I do suggest you watch those first and then watch the TV show.
I mean, yeah, and watch the movies when they come out. And you know, like Soulbro said, if you haven't seen the original show, watch that first, and then you'll understand it a little bit better because that was the other thing. It was kind of tuned for people. You had to have a base knowledge in Gundam. So
anyway, that's it for this segment.
And buy it when it comes out.
And check out the Zeta Gundam, a new translation when it comes out here in the United States, whenever Bandai gives us the word. But we'll be right back in just a few moments. You're listening to Gundam.
Suddenly, there was a terrible roar all around us, and the sky was full of what looked like huge bats, all swooping and screeching and diving around the car. And a voice was screaming, "Holy Jesus, what are these goddamn animals?"
Hey, Garma. Do you read me? Blame this on the misfortune of your birth. What? Misfortune? That's right. Char, you're not saying that you were indeed a very good friend to me. Don't take it personally. You can thank your father for this. Char, you... You double-crossed me, Char!
Hey, you! Get your damn hands off her!
And welcome back to Gundam. This is Neo, and we're going to jump into another topic here. It's actually something that's a little bit dear to both me and Soulbro's heart. Being people that's around the same age and being children around the same time is we're going to talk quick about Macross, just everything dealing with Macross. You know, for most people in the U.S., they think of Robotech, and we're definitely going to talk about that because it definitely had a huge part of our lives.
Boy, did it.
Yes. I would have to say probably the biggest one is being a little kid. I was watching it, and first episode I saw was the one before Roy died. Wow. And I got hooked into the show because I liked fighter planes and stuff, and it had action, and then they transformed. Of course, every kid's going to love that.
Right.
Watch the next episode. Notice the guy gets hurt. He goes to the hospital. Didn't think too much about it. Saw everybody crying at the end, but it was, a little kid, maybe 8, 9 years old. Wasn't really thinking too much about it. Mm-hmm. Next episode, where's Roy?
Everybody talking about him in the past tense.
And then they start talking about how Commander Foker's not coming back. I'm like, damn, wait a second.
That
This didn't happen in G.I. Joe.
Oh my gosh, did it? It never did.
Yeah.
People could get grazed by laser beams. It'd be
Yeah.
bright as rain next episode.
In that show, wow. I mean, I don't know what you can say on that. I mean, for something, granted, I know what we saw here. Robotech wasn't the true vision of the Japanese, but I think it did what it needed to do. I think it's one of those shows that's. I think it's one of the few anime shows that crosses all spectrums. It's one of those shows I think even people that aren't big into anime, they know Robotech.
Yeah.
They know Max
heard of
Sterling and Roy Fokker and that stuff like that. So
it's a show that has something for everybody. I mean, it was it was one of those shows that had action, adventure, romance. It had warfare. It had topical issues in the show.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing find to see it at the age of 8 for me. I mean, your first episode may have been the episode before Roy died, but my first episode was the episode where Rick finally got subordinates. So like it was episode 8, and he got his wingman for the first time under his command.
Oh, those two guys.
Max and Ben.
Ben, yeah.
And,
didn't Ben get killed?
Yeah. The episode after Roy died.
The bomb, right? He got caught up in the bomb blast.
They had just tried to test their new shield around the SDF-1, and then they got overloaded from all the beams being shot at it. And when they had to hit their afterburners to escape the explosion, he didn't hit his afterburners in time.
That's
he got
right.
Caught up in the explosion, and it was a lot for a kid to take.
Oh my God!
Two deaths. I mean, I had grown. I always thought Roy was cool. But when you sit and you watch an episode that's centered on Roy, which never happened in the series until the episode that he died, you get this ominous feeling that something big is going to happen to him. And I'm sitting there watching it, and I've never seen an episode with that kind of pacing before, where you see it's centered around a minor character. But even I knew as a kid, it's like something's gonna happen.
Yeah, you had that sense of dread.
Yeah,
and which was amazing too, because here's a show that they definitely brought over for kids to watch. And, a lot of these Japanese shows that they used to bring over, they used to cut all that stuff out. I mean, look at Voltron. Sven died, and exactly. Sven's dead, but they're saying he's going some medical planet. Yeah, I mean, come on. But no, I mean, Macross to me, I think, as much as I think Gundam has an influence on mecha anime and storytelling in general when it comes to anime and even with a lot of the Japanese movies out there, I think Macross in a lot of ways equals and maybe surpasses Gundam, because it did do a lot of things where, like you just said, it tackled more with the issues, where Tomino just wanted to shock you with the brutality and the sacrifices
of war. You can definitely see a difference in directorial styles.
Yeah,
Tomino's more. He likes to pump up the drama. He likes to mess with his characters. Macross, a character's death was kind of a way to advance the story, as opposed to in Gundam, it was something that really. It was
part of the story.
It's part of the story.
It became,
but some deaths were senseless. Save for there's some deaths in Gundam that are really senseless, and Victory Gundam is a perfect example.
But I think
harping on that show a lot, but I'm just saying.
I think he does that because he's trying to do the whole message of war, and death is senseless, and there are always senseless deaths in war. There's no good or bad deaths.
That's true.
I mean, that is understandable. But like you said, though, I noticed that also and I noticed that with a lot of the Macross series. They kind of keep that same little thing going, where it's like death is part of it, but it's not the overpowering part of it. It's just how these people keep going on.
And there's actual romance in these shows. Granted,
yeah.
I mean, a lot of dudes listening don't want to see that. They just want to see their mechs tearing stuff up. But
hey,
I like a little bit of.
It's gonna happen.
I like a little bit of soap opera in my space.
I mean, it is gonna be real life. I mean, if you're gonna have men and women fighting together, they're arguing,
women cavorting together.
They're not gonna be fighting all the time. So, but I'd have to say that was great. We were talking about some other Macross shows. So the one after it was what?
Macross. It was the movie adaptation of Macross, and that was called Do You Remember Love?
Right.
It's hard to find, But I have a sneaky feeling that once ADV is put out, and I think they've already finished putting out all their Super Dimensional Fortress Macross DVDs, they'll probably try to adapt that and put that on DVD as well. At least I hope so. It's a really good movie, and there is an English dub, but it's actually done by English people. And it's not
like England from Britain, English from Britain.
It was done like years ago, like say in like the late 80s it was dubbed. And it's not that bad.
I've only seen it subtitled, so.
Yeah, I saw that when I was a kid. I saw a bootleg tape of it way back in the day. And I was scratching my head because someone lent me this tape to me saying, "Oh, it's Robotech. Watch it. It's great." And I'm sitting there watching. It's like, what is this? This is not even the voices I remember. What is this? But I sat and watched it, and I enjoyed it.
I don't see Carl Masick. I don't see his credits anywhere.
I didn't see his magic touch anywhere on this. But the one thing I did like about Do You Remember Love, though, was the fact that Min May was not portrayed as a kind of a flighty chick. She was actually portrayed as a pretty cool girl who met.
She's a lot more mature
Rick
than what she acted.
Exactly. She was a lot more mature than her original incarnation. She was a little bit older, and you actually felt bad for her when Rick went away Hikaru went away after getting captured by the Zentradi and came back with a new woman on his own.
Yeah.
You felt bad for her because she didn't do anything wrong. He was captured and just got attached to another girl. But as opposed to Robotech, where our Macross original
the music
show,
was good in that one too.
Oh, music was awesome.
Yeah. And what the one after that would be what?
Macross 2.
Macross 2. I don't think I've seen any of that one.
I watched it once and it wasn't bad. I didn't walk away from it, all too. All too
definitely one of those things you might want to check out again. Before you pass judgment.
I shouldn't really pass judgment on it. I really need to grab a copy of it again and check it out. After that, there is let's see. Probably the best representation of Macross. Period.
Yes.
You go ahead and let them know.
Macross Plus.
There you go.
Man, talk about it. Wow.
Talk about Shoji Kawamori finding his one of his best directed OVAs. And
we actually know somebody that's not even big into mech anime, but loves that. That's
to him
is the end all be all show right there.
Our friend Shoji Romero loves Macross Plus.
Yeah.
He'll swear by that to this day. And it's cool that the OVA has something to offer as well as the movie adaptation has something to offer. A little different. There's two different takes on certain scenes.
I don't know if I've ever seen the movie. I've always just watched the OVA. I mean, talk about the use of music. I mean, the music in that show is just amazing.
And for a lot of people, that was their first exposure to Yoko Kanno.
Man,
and that woman has got she is such a magnificent, she just creates great music.
And grabs the feeling of what you're trying to achieve.
Exactly.
And the thing that what I've seen, what makes that show great is even I don't even care live action, animated, whatever. That's one of the best representations of a weird love triangle that I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh! That's what Macross is all about, love triangles.
But that one is just because you felt for all of them. Because usually, in one of those love triangles, you just want to kill one of the people in the love triangle. But that one, you understood the girl and you understood the two guys. I mean, that thing. And then, of course,
I love the twist. I won't say what it is, but there's a twist, like almost towards the end, about one of the people involved in the love triangle, and it's like, wow. And I didn't see that coming.
And then just the way of just the new representation of the Veritex.
Dog fights, dude.
Oh my God! I mean, they're not even. I don't even think they're not even really called Veritex in that one. That's just because they're what Valkyries.
Valkyries, and there was like it was not really concentrated on a war. It was two.
They were test pilots.
They were test pilots developing two different Valkyries, and they were just how they got along and how they both cared about.
That is, and I know we did an episode with Must Sees, and I don't know how we forgot that show.
Oh my God!
Because that is definitely, if you enjoy mech anime, and it doesn't even matter if you don't like Robotech, or Macross, you need to see this show.
You can watch Macross Plus without having to see any other Macross,
and you'll be fine. And you'll be fine. And you'll love the show.
It's a straight up story, and I mean it's a standalone. I could really suggest that to anybody.
Yeah.
Even people who are not mech fans.
And then I guess that would probably bring us to
the final two.
Yeah.
One of them is Macross 7, which I've never seen, but I hear it's a continuation of the original. Exactly. It's a continuation of the original Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. So a lot of the characters who were in that show that happen to survive it show up. I know the main character of the show is the daughter, or one of the daughters, of Max and Miria Genus, who in Robotech were Max and Miria Sterling, but she's like the main character, and you got another guy who's a singer. He's like... She's like the youngest out of all of them.
Yeah, because I know they had a couple. So.
Oh, they had mad kids. I think they actually had like maybe 5 or 6 or 7.
Wow.
But it's called Macross 7.
It's hard to find. I know that much.
It's hard to find, and I'm amazed it hasn't been licensed yet. But maybe it's kind of a pain to translate because of all the music.
Yeah.
But we're getting a lot more musically driven shows nowadays, so it may not be out of the realm of possibility that we get it. But last but not least, there's the final Macross, which just came out recently.
Yeah.
How about it, Neil?
Oh, Macross 0.
Yes, sir.
And you were talking earlier about dogfights. Oh, man. The opening, I mean, just for anybody to see, just the opening, like, I think it's like maybe 5 or 6 minutes of the first episode is just amazing.
They throw you right in.
They throw you right in. And what's cool about it is it's a standalone, too, because it's basically a prequel. Exactly. It's a prequel to Robotech Macross, Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. It's got Roy in it, but he's the only character that's really from the first one, and he's a test pilot. And you know the Veritechs are brand new. They're just, I think it's maybe a year or two after the war, that big war they always talk about, and they're still fighting. Remnants of some of the factions, and they have their own versions of the Veritechs. So I mean, it is just, I mean, and visually it's great because it's a lot of computer generation. They make the there's actually a sequence where they show the Veritech changing from the plane mode into the mech mode.
And I think the biggest thing,
and it made sense.
It made sense. The biggest thing about it is that all the Veritech animations all in 3D.
Yeah.
It's like all the dogfights, all the mecha in there are 3D. Which, and we were kind of worried about it at first, but it really looks good.
It looks better than anything on 360 or PlayStation too.
Wow.
I mean, well, no, I mean it is so sharp. I mean, and I'm not saying anything bad about those. I'm just saying, you know, is the incredible detail that you see in like the 360 or PlayStation 3 HD. I mean, I would love to see this come over in HD because I think that show was just amazing. And
it hasn't been licensed yet. You never know. It could be one of the first
I know
DVD animes.
I know a lot of people haven't. I think it had kind of a mixed reception. I think it's one of these things because it's a little bit of a departure from the other Robotechs and the other Macrosses. It's a lot more spiritual. This one, yeah, it's
really the only Macross that not involve any kind of aliens whatsoever.
Yeah, well, yeah, they talk about them, but yeah, I mean, it's, you know, and I think that's the other thing is they're, you know, all the technology is still brand new. The Veritechs are still brand new. You get to see a different side of Roy. You get to see how he was in the regular Macross as opposed to Robotech, always drunk, and you know, you can see kind of his take on things and see why he continued to fight, because he had a love interest in that one, and it wasn't Claudia.
It wasn't Claudia
at all. So, but I mean, I would definitely say for people to check all those out, and I mean, I think Macross is one of these shows where I think it's. People know it, people enjoy it, but I think sometimes it does miss, you know, people miss its importance. And even I think to myself, I sometimes kind of underestimate what it's done, because I'll sit back and watch these things and I'm like, man, you know, these are good shows.
It's still timeless. Even though it looks old, it still holds up.
I mean, even with Robotech, Robotech is one of these shows where, I mean, me and Silver were talking earlier today about, you know, some shows that we saw when we were kids, and, you know, rewatching them as you get older, and they kind of lose their value. And
Robotech still doesn't look like they're trying to sell me toys or beat me over the head with toy advertising.
Yeah, and I actually think I got a little bit more. I understood it more now than I did as a kid.
You have a deeper appreciation for it as an adult than you did way back then. I mean, half the stuff in the show I couldn't even begin to relate to or understand to, like, you know, at least hit my teenage years.
Because I gotta admit, even with Robotech being you know, a splice up of Macross, they did a good job of it. It made sense. I mean, yeah, of course some things are fast forwarded, but at least made sense. But we definitely would say, Macross, I'm sure we're preaching to the choir out there, the Mac fans, but they definitely need to check that out. But that's this little segment, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Gun.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Fine, thank you.
Flip the Script is a roundtable discussion covering the topics of anime.
I know you guys are just like me. We can't afford to pick up all these volumes that they keep releasing. Where the hell are the movies where I can only buy one thing and enjoy it?
A lot of shows with the same themes come to the States first, so we get to miss out on a lot of the original shows. Case in point, Monster, one of the greatest murder mystery sagas that's just been animated in Japan. It's about 75 episodes, wonderful show, has yet to be picked up.
Video games.
360 or PS3? Which one would you actually spend your hard-earned money on?
Both.
On both? But you would have to pick one.
The Wii. Gonna buy the Wii.
There's been so much hype about this PS3 that it's like, why? I just gotta see it.
Didn't it get pushed back again?
Japan gets 100,000 on November 11th, as we get 400,000 November 17th. That is 100,000 less units of the PS2. Yeah, you guys are going to have some fun getting that sucker.
That is true. There are only 30
back.
million people living in Canada?
Which means about 95% of those people will not be getting a PS3.
But television.
What is the deal with Dave Chappelle? First 2 seasons of his show were awesome. Third season came around and the motherfucker wasn't even there.
Money got to his brain.
Money got to his brain.
Money
exactly.
got to his brain, and that's what I'm saying right there.
He didn't want to do the show if it was going to conflict with his beliefs. And I guess he's become more of a devout Muslim, so,
He's a Muslim for real?
Yeah, he's a Muslim.
Who says so?
He's a Muslim.
Since when?
Have you read anything?
My mama ain't told me that.
Oh, I'm too bad.
Movies. The Protector actually far superseded Bach.
Let's backtrack here. The story is kind of silly, but they just set enough of groundwork for the story so that you can get into the action.
Well, after the first 20 minutes of the movie, it's like
balls
to the wall, ass kickery.
It's got some of the best camera work I've seen in action.
And there's a lot of chicken bone breaking in this one, because I'll tell you this much, folks. Tibulas and fibulas are going like crazy. Everyday stuff.
First off, we decided to have a live draft, and we get together at a sports bar to do this thing and pick the teams. Guys are showing up in their favorite team's jerseys.
Hey.
They're coming with notebooks, pens, pads. They got their best friend on their cell phone to give them advice on who to pick. I come as I am, and I'm thinking to myself, I am starting something with a bunch of total lunatics.
They are dealing with the opinions of 6 different people. Those people include Boy Wonder.
I thought it was great that nobody knocked Brad Pitt for breaking up with him. People doing tabloid news and stuff were just like, man, I'd have done the same thing.
Dr. Encyclopedia Black.
We know that Angelina Jolie and her father have a bad relationship. And it's like, why? Why do I need to know this?
Lee Majors.
I feel really good when I actually hear a woman say, yeah, I would have picked Angelina too. I'm like, you damn right.
Neo the Blonde Ace. The only thing that I see when I see Angelina Jolie is I just wonder how she would break me in two in bed and how I would die a very happy man. Shoji Romero.
Once again, I bring up the whole fact that you guys gotta know I have a short attention span. You guys bore me, I'm moving on.
And Soul Brother Ryu.
SNK vs. Capcom Card Fighters. I know y'all all laughing out there, but F y'all, that's going to be the game of the year.
We'd like to welcome all of you to Flip the Script.
Fix this damn door!
Welcome back to Gundam. And our next segment, we're going to be talking about our favorite alternate Gundam universe, alternate universe series in Mobile Suit Gundam. From pretty much the worst to the best, in our opinion. This may differ from yours, but we're just going to do a quick rundown and talk briefly about each one, and hopefully start up some controversy. That's what we hope to do. Some controversy, but on a civil level.
Friendly controversy.
That's right. We keep it fresh and civil here.
Yes.
At least we try. But we might as well start off. Where you want to start off with, the worst or the best?
Oh, let's start off with the best one.
Really?
Like maybe our favorite one that we think is just our number one. of all the and what would that be? That would cover what? Gundam X, Mobile, Gundam Seed.
I'll start with the first one. Let's start with G Gundam.
G Gundam.
Wing.
Wing.
X.
Okay.
Turn A.
Turn A.
Seed.
Mm-hmm.
And most recently, Gundam 00.
Okay, so I guess Seed would include Destiny, or are those two different shows, or the same show?
Seed universe, basically.
Okay.
But Seed and Destiny, and of course Stargazer as well.
Okay.
And I guess that would include Endless Waltz for Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
But
okay.
pretty much anything that's not UC, basically. And that
Okay.
would even include, to some degree, SD Gundam. Now, there's two versions of SD Gundam.
Yes.
One of them rocks ass. One of them,
But
is
it's
the,
Universal Century.
Let me say that one of them rocks out awesome, and another one not so much.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah, we'll try not. We'll get into that later. But,
Yeah, I think okay, but I would say probably not. You know what? Okay, I take that back. Maybe we shouldn't do best first.
We should go with the worst.
We should go with the worst. What would be your worst one?
Well,
outside of the SD one, because I gotta get
SD Gundam World.
Your
SD Gundam World aside.
Yeah, your little spiel there about SD Gundam. We already know that.
Yeah, but you guys already know my thoughts on that. But it was a valiant attempt to introduce it to the kids, but I don't know what they were thinking. But the one that I would say is the least favorite of mine is probably Mobile Suit, New Mobile Report Gundam Wing.
Oh.
And I don't want to hate on that show too much, because it was my first Gundam series.
Yeah.
And I thank the series for being my first, because it moved me on to bigger and better shows. once I got caught a wind of what Gundam was, and I'll forever thank Toonami and the cats at William Street and Bandai for bringing it here and getting our appetites wet for Gundam.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I would have to I don't want to be total agreement man, but I would have to agree with you on that one. And mainly I see it as just that show goes well up until I think it's after Hero gets defeated by Zex, or when he blows up the first 0, the 00, or the 01, and they just go on to that whole pacifism thing, and Berlina Peacecraft all of a sudden goes from high school student to leader of the world.
She goes from high school student to Kofi Annan.
I enjoy a lot of the characters and some of the action, but it's kind of more of a sterile story too, because towards the end when they're just sitting there fighting the mobile dolls, it's like, oh boy, okay, there goes Shenron, and it was the Altron at then, and it's like he just killed 5 guys, and Trace took a back seat, and it was just
To me, it was the fast food of Gundam. It was
Yes.
it take everything from every Gundam series that came out, and let's put it in a mismatch of let's make it easy to digest, so that people who are new to Gundam can actually enjoy it. Enjoy what Gundam's all about, and that's that's the pure genius of the show.
Yeah.
The drawback to that is that a lot of characters are
lost,
too quickly developed. Like when Lady Yun. Lady Yun just became she went from raging bee to an awesome person.
Yes.
And it's like I hated Lady Yun so much at the beginning of the show. I almost didn't want to accept this new cool version of Lady Yun towards the end. It's like, okay, how did she make this wonderful transformation? Hero made a wonderful transformation. Like he had an
you kind of understood that, and you understood why he did.
Exactly, but I mean, some things just don't go so smoothly. Katra lost his mind and came back from that. Come on, guys.
Yeah, and it's a shame, because to be honest with you, it's got one of my favorite characters of all Gundam in there, Trace.
Oh gosh, I mean
the man.
That is the best contribution the show made.
But halfway through that show, you thought Trace Kusanagi got launched somewhere else, because you don't hear hide nor hair of that man.
Exactly.
I mean, but yeah, it's just my opinion, and I mean, it's not that I hate it. I own the show, and I actually been thinking about watching it again, because
blame
I do enjoy it, but I think in the terms of the other shows,
Yeah.
it's not. If it wasn't
I'd sit there wondering.
Gundam, I think it would be, I wouldn't think so down on it if
Me
it's
too.
that. So,
Me too.
I mean, that's
I agree
that's
with
the
that
biggest thing
wholeheartedly.
right there. But yeah, sorry fans, because I know it is one of the more popular ones, and it is understandable.
Well, a lot of the diehards would probably agree with us. They probably say, you know, that's the one I like the least too. I mean, granted, there's some likable characters in the show, but for the most part, there are other Gundam series that far outclass it, and I guess we should move on to the next one.
Yeah, I think for me, above probably would be the next above, and I think it's because of, if we're including all the incarnations of the show, I think the second part of the show is Gundam Seed, because I think the first show was good. I think it was really good, and they did a lot of things that
it was like an up-to-date take on Mobile Suit
Yeah.
Gundam. It really was.
And then they did a lot of things that made a lot more sense, and they broke the norm.
Yeah,
Kira gets the girl.
They flipped a lot of stereotypical characters on their head, and I like that.
Kira was never. You didn't hate him, and he never got too cocky like all the other pilots seemed to do.
Le Creuset was pure evil.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't have any.
There was no justifiable. He was way different from Star Asimov or any of those guys.
Exactly. He kind of came off like the brothers in Gundam X.
Yes.
He knew it was a freak of nature, and he wasn't. He was making no excuses for himself.
He wanted society to pay for what he was, but
Exactly.
I think the second part, Destiny, and Destiny to me has two parts. The first part up until basically till they're in Berlin, I think is good. I think that's good, but after that, I don't know what they were thinking. I think they just they had too much going on, and they just realized they had.
It could have been one of several things. So someone squandered the budget. There was a conflict between the actors and the head writer. There was.
I don't know what they did, but I think they just opened. Personally, I think they just opened. They put in too many stories, or too many, beginnings of stories, and they found out that we have only 20 episodes left, so we just gotta speed this up.
But the funny thing is, there were 4 recap episodes throughout the entire show.
That killed it too.
That show had more recap episodes than any other Gundam series in history, and that's what I'm saying. When Double Zero makes its run, there better not be one recap episode throughout that whole show.
Well, they're gonna have to.
Maybe one for Christmas.
And that's understandable, but
there's been some Gundam series that had no recap episodes. Period.
Yeah, that is true.
So I'm just saying they can always just skip a week.
What would be yours above Wing?
Mine above a Wing? Well, I'd definitely put Endless Waltz above Wing, but that's just an addendum too. That's just an addendum to Wing. So I mean, I have to lump that in with it.
Yeah,
it's just like lumping in Destiny with Seed. But
because it does bring up that show a little bit, because I do like Endless Waltz.
Yeah. Well, if I had to, I'd agree with you that C would be the next one from the lowest, and that would make the next one up. This is when it starts to get really hard. I either have G or X to choose from, but if I was going to pick one, that would be the next one from the bottom. Would probably be G, and it doesn't make G bad at all, not by any stretch of the imagination. I had a hard time getting into G at first because of the premise, but about 13 episodes in.
Oh yeah, the Indiana Highlands.
Yeah, exactly. That show hit its stride and didn't stop. And as the characters were all like, they're all like, caricatures of characters for people from that, their respective countries. But it was interesting just to see where the story was going, and how it developed, and how complex it got towards the end, and how there were some strong themes in that show, like love, and just national pride, and
environmental conscious, environmentally conscious, and stuff like that.
And then define a character. Let's say, the archetype of Char Aznavour split between two characters in the show.
Yeah.
You had the viewpoints of Char split to Master Asia, and you had the kind of significance of the masked man put into the Schwartz Brooder. Big pimpin' right there. But and you had just the dynamic between all the characters, and you had the last 10 episodes of that show are some of the most adrenaline-filled in any animated series, period.
Some of the great. It's probably some of the most fun that you will have, and it makes sense. And like you said earlier too, the whole thing about love. It's the one Gundam show where they got the love story correct. We were talking earlier in one of our other segments about Macross doing that and that being a big part of Macross. Well, it's never really been. It doesn't matter who directed what Gundam show, they always have an issue with the love story, but except that one.
Yeah, romance
just doesn't.
Romance always takes a back seat in most Gundam shows, but in this one, the love story developed throughout the show until it finally reached a head in the last.
And it had the triangle too.
It had a triangle, and it's like you felt
and
bad.
You couldn't hate on any one of the people in that triangle.
Couldn't do it.
So,
but that I won't ruin it. But on episode 45 is one of the greatest battles of all time, and to me, it's the greatest fight in Gundam history.
Oh,
I think so. I think it's the greatest fight in any Gundam series is in episode 45. And the way from the episode starts to the way it ends, that is
pure gold.
Pure gold. The dialogue and everything. But let me not continue to go on about this because I'll start crying.
I'll actually have to to go from my second to left, second from the bottom. It's gonna be a little different.
All right.
And it's. It's the alternate series, but then supposedly it's not either. It's Turn A. I think when it comes to alternate, I like Turn A. I enjoyed it. I love the mood of it. I love I enjoyed the way that they kind of did everything a little bit different when it came to the mechs, especially the Gundams, and with the characters and everything like that. It was a very good show, but I don't know. The ones I put above it to me are that they're the ones that would that I find probably the best. Which I'll just go above that. The one I find above Turn A would be, and this is going to be tough because we only got 2 shows left on my side. So I would have to say, wow, this is being on the spot here. Actually, to be honest with you, I would have to say the close second to me would be G Gundam. And it would be, and it's very difficult because for all the things that Soulbro said about it, the thing that I liked about it, and see, I was actually the one that kept telling him, you got to watch the show.
Exactly.
Because I watched the show, and I own it. And I kept telling him, like, look, you just got to go with it. You got to go with it.
And it took me forever. My brothers watched it, and it was like, dude, this show is the best, man. What are you waiting for? It's I don't know.
And the reason why I like the show more than anything is the fact that, to me, it is one animated, mech-filled, feels like a badly dubbed martial arts film from the late 70s and early 80s that I used to watch all the time. I mean, just the fact of the Gundams, the mobile suits doing martial arts, and it's got all that pride and all the mysticism of the different martial arts and everything in it. And I mean, and the characters, as if you see pictures of them, as flamboyant, as kind of crazy looking as they are, I mean, they're great characters.
It's like they took characters from fighting games and gave them suits.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and you can see that there's influences from 2D fighting games in there. There's influences from
the way Damon fights when he kicks and arcs of light shoot from his feet. It's like, okay.
Yeah. So, but
rip straight from King of Fighters. Nice.
But, I mean, for anybody that's not seen that show, I say that you go to it and watch it, because man, you will not be. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, it's almost you get a loss of words sometimes just talking about that show, because it is a must see, and it is
force.
And like Soulbro said, the last 10 episodes are just, if you enjoy action, you enjoy mechs, you enjoy just and a good story. But
it's like it's funny because my second favorite would probably be Turn A Gundam. Mainly because it's so different. And it's such a change of pace that I couldn't help it. Put it up there. I can't even put 00 in the list yet, but from what 00 looks
3
like
episodes,
right now,
so it's hard to say.
Deep, so it's hard to say. But right now, it's got a lot going for it.
Yeah.
So that'll be to be determined. I'd like to do a segment on this after the show is over.
Sure.
Just to recap and to see where it falls in.
Yeah.
But I think we both share the number one series.
The number one series. Oh my God. And once again, this is one of these things where I had read about it, and I finally was able to. I first was downloading it, and then I was able to buy it, and I told Soulbro to watch it, and it's just a shame that it ended so soon.
Yeah.
Because, man, talk about for not many episodes when it comes to a full-length Gundam show. Wow, it does some things that none of the other shows did. And that would be Gundam X.
After War Gundam X is right.
Yep.
That is
not Mobile Suit. After War Gundam X.
After War Gundam X. It was like, wow. You're watching the show, and it seems to me that it was not only, it wasn't so much, it would seem to me like an anthology series, but there was consistency in the story, and it was broken up to several different story arcs, but everything connected in the end.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, one of the episodes...
Yeah, because they begin and there's not a goal. Like, It's not like most Gundam shows where we got to get here. You know, at the end of the episode 1, we have to get here. You know, we got to get to Alaska. We got to get to Jabral. We got to, you know, whatever we need to do.
Exactly.
This one, it was just like...
One of the coolest things about the show was the way every episode started. Like a film. You remember that? It would show After War Gundam X on the screen. Mm-hmm. Then it would fade, and then it would go into the episode, and then you get the opener. And then you go into the episode. It was very cinematic, and then the credits had the actual preview of the episode embedded in the credits. It was just had a unique
design. And what was great too was which I thought was really unique. The title of every episode was a phrase that someone said in that episode.
Exactly.
And that's what was just amazing to me. And I think, like you said, the story arc, that whole flow was nice. Mm-hmm. The mech designs, I think the Gundams look traditional like Gundams, but I enjoyed the fact that the grunt suits were like nothing you had ever seen. Exactly. They didn't look like anything from any of the Mobile Suit Gundam universes.
And then what about some of the character types like Jamil Neat, the best captain ever, next to Bright Noah?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. If we're doing a hierarchy of the captains of all Gundam, he's up there, man. They're tied. Those guys to me are tied.
He was like Bright and Quattro he was like Bright, Quattro, and Amuro putting the one.
Yeah, because this guy went out and fought.
He jump in the suit and just and give commands to the battlefield to the ship.
And the whole thing with him is what was so great about him is the fact that even though Garud was the main character, that guy was the whole cause.
Exactly, that guy would have been the main character if it wasn't for the tragedy that started the show.
Yeah.
And so instead Garud got thrown into the position instead, an unwitting main character. But he did a great job too.
I mean, every character in there. All the pilots were great. The crew. There was not an annoying character. Even some of the evil characters.
The Frost Brothers.
Those guys. Oh. They were evil, but you know what? You didn't hate them.
You understood them.
You understood.
You understood where they were coming from. It's like, dude, these guys are rough, but they got good reason to be.
And it basically, the whole synopsis of it is I don't know if people used to read comic books, but Marvel used to have what-ifs where they would do like, what if Gwen Stacy lived, or what if the Fantastic Four never got their powers? They'd do that. And basically that was kind of the idea behind this was, well, what if like all the colonies fell on Earth?
Exactly.
Because they showed how life was. There was like less than like 1 million people left there.
There was no sun for years.
No sun.
Because the impact of all the colonies landing made a dust cloud all over the atmosphere.
And it actually made sense why a 16-year-old kid understood how to work a Gundam or a mobile suit, because he stole them.
Yeah. It wasn't like he was some random kid thrown into the situation. Yeah. He knew what the F he was doing.
He wasn't just mechanically inclined. Exactly. He was a thief. So
he was like, it was like when Judo Ash just got the Zeta in the beginning of Double Zeta. He already knew how to pilot them because he had been running them for so long.
He was ready to sell the hubcaps.
Exactly. But there's an honorable mention, and that's there's a Stargazer.
Oh.
I forgot to mention that when we were talking about Seed.
Yeah.
If anybody who hasn't seen Stargazer, it's a 3-part miniseries that has to do with it's in the Gundam Seed Destiny universe.
Yeah, it's during the whole Break the War.
That one has the kind of the Gundam 8th MS team feel, and if Seed had put out anything that was really, really great, I'd have to say that's a really good miniseries, as well as the little shorts that have to do with Red Frame, Blue Frame, yeah. And I love those. I love the manga series for those as well.
But, yeah. I mean, those are just some of our thoughts on it. I mean, they're all great shows, but I mean, if you've never checked out Gundam X, I would say more than anything, if you want something that's Gundam, that's recognizable, but not the 3 shows you need to check out is going to be X, Turn A, and G Gundam.
G Gundam. Sadly, only G Gundam is available here now.
Yeah.
But I do believe that Gundam X will probably be the next series to come here, so be on the lookout for it.
Well, they re-released it in Japan, and they're doing a new manga for it now.
Yeah, under the moonlight, I think. Yeah.
I was able to see like the first volume.
Yeah.
And even that's written in the same kind of style, so I don't know if it's the same guy or what. But man,
oh, well, one can only hope. But check out those series if you can. And Bandai, if you really, really want people to see these, please bring out the Gundam alternate series that we haven't received yet.
Yes.
This doesn't
you don't even have to translate them. Just put them in subtitles. We don't need dubs.
Yeah. I mean, if push comes to shove and you don't want to spend the money on doing ADR, just put them out subtitled.
Yes.
I mean, I'll take my Gundam that way. I mean, it's either that or buy the bootlegs, and I'd rather not do that. So
I just want to know what they're saying.
Exactly. That's all I'm asking.
Halfway through the shows, they get lazy in Hong Kong.
Exactly. Exactly. We want some consistency.
Yes.
So, hope that's our plea to Bandai. But anyway,
we hope everybody checks these out.
Yeah, exactly.
And give us some feedback on what you think, because I'm sure people disagree, and we want to hear it.
If you want to know more about these series, go to mahq.net and check their anime section.
Mm-hmm.
They've got information on almost every Gundam series out there.
And
I think they have information on them all.
The mechs and everything.
Pictures
too.
of the mechs and characters and all that fun stuff. You can check out the website there and get more information. But that's the end of this segment, and we'll be right back. You've been listening to Gundam.
Oh, no.
It's those damn Mongolian again! Stop! Stop right there, Mongolian!
That's right, cower. Be afraid. Die knowing you lost to someone who really knows how to use a mobile suit.
He wants me to retreat. Time to attack! How damn! My field of vision sucks! Eleanor!
Right here.
I need to depend on your ear.
That's fine. Leave it to me. Rock and roll. You're under my command now, team. You've got something to say?
Nothing whatsoever, sir. Sander. Yeah. The second you start thinking of him as a regular Zeke, he'll be dead.
Really?
This guy is better than any of us.
About time for a real fight. Oh, hiding in the dust.
Very considerate of him to give me an escape route.
He's coming right for you.
Damn it! Son of a bitch! Not there?
You have my thanks.
Oh,
I've got him now, Karen.
I've got a lock. Overhead. 649 by 23.
Unit 301, fire!
One left.
Good work, Eleanor.
This is getting fun now.
Now it's your turn!
Well, that looked impressive. Now say goodbye to your tank.
No, you don't!
I better throw in a few more tricks.
Out of ammo?
It's over now.
My left arm is out of action.
Pretty good reflexes. Not bad for a Betty. But I bet you're not ready for this. Your good vision is your fatal weakness.
Where's the main circuit, damn it? Why don't you shoot? Just finish me, for God's sake!
It's time I stop playing games with you. What'll it be?
Here he comes, Sanders.
Right. You gonna fire on me while the pilot's still alive?
Come on, hands. Stay steady. My friends. Do I really care if they get out of this alive? Right now, all that fighting for my friends talk is sounding ridiculous. All I know is I'm really scared. I wanna live! I wanna live!
So you're awake, huh?
Not gonna live!
You're the one that...
And we'll grow old together! The commander! He's lost it!
So, I've met Miss Ina's petty lover. Life can be real funny, but I won't be stopped!
Damn it, no!
Victory is mine! Well, Miss Ina, the Kurgan will have to leave without me. I have found the place where I am to die.
Give me the gun. Then page!
And that ends the second episode of Gundam. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope our topics were a little enlightening. Maybe put some thought, made everybody a little thought-provoking there. So,
exactly.
But we definitely want to hear your feedback on some of the things that we say, because me and the old soul bro, we're not experts. We try to be, but we're not.
I don't want to come off as some hoity-toity know-it-all. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, and I like to be schooled.
We want to hear all your thoughts about Macross, the AU shows, and basically the new Zeta movies, the new translation movies. So definitely, agree with us, don't agree with us, we don't care. But why don't you tell them where they find us, Soul Bro?
Send us if you want. You can give us feedback through email at gundam@cfl.rr.com. Or you can check out our website on MySpace if you happen to be a member. Why is MySpace? You don't have to be a member to see the site, but if you want to give us any feedback on comments or anything like that, you can go to www.myspace.com/Gundam. That's GUNDAMN, the show. And you can go there. Or you can check us out on the MAHQ boards.
Nice.
You go to mahq.net and go to the forums, and if you look at the advertising section, you'll find the topic Gundam, and we already have a thread going there. And if you want to leave any comments about what you think about the show, good or bad, please let us know.
Nice. And we'd like to, encourage everybody to always go to those websites too, because we get a lot of our information from them, and we want to thank them for providing it and
just being there throughout the years.
Yeah, and support them, because they definitely go in a lot more detail for some of the things that we're talking about. And if you have any questions, definitely go through those guys. So they definitely know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
So, and anything else news related, always go to Ganada, and they have a link through MAHQ too.
And
so
on our homepage, you'll find links to MAHQ and Ganada as well. But
so concludes the second episode. So we're gonna have next episode. We'll have pretty much our thoughts on Mobile Suit Gundam 00's probably episode 2, 3, 4, possibly 5.
Hopefully,
by then.
Hopefully 5 by
Just
then.
some technical difficulties with things coming down. So
we'll have the whole extravaganza,
and we'll have some more hard-hitting Mecha topics coming at you.
That's
so
right. For you and your mother.
For myself, Neil Lornoke, and the old
and Soul Bro Ryu,
we'd like to thank you and wish you guys good luck, and we'll see you next episode. Later.
This hand of mine glows with an awesome power! Its burning grip tells me to defeat you! Take this, my love, my anger, and all of my sorrow! Shining Finger Sword!
Gundam is a Shinjuku Station production.
Whatever you say, chump!